Home science. Growing evidence suggests that an authoritative style may yield the most beneficial effect. Children whose parents adopt this approach are generally competent both socially and cognitively. Children whose parents show a rejecting or neglecting style tend to develop unsettled pattern of behavior, while children with authoritarian parents often display negativism and frustration due to extra discipline, which children with permissive parents are seen to be quite insensitive and ill-mannered. Role the parents should play. Children should be given much love and security. The parents and other family member must not criticize them or her for any unusual behavior. They should share and discuss their problem patiently and should never compare them with the children and should give a considerable amount of their time to their children. They should not compel children to do something that they do not want to do. Children should be given some responsibility and some work in order to keep them busy. They should be allowed to do things independently with little help. Disciplinary rules should be set and rewards should be given to reinforce positive behavior. But rewards should not be confused with brief. Brief should be act as a motivation for doing the right things. Wrong behavior can be tackled with meaningful punishment or consequence to discourage the child from repeating bad behavior. Children should be praised enough to make them understand the meaning of good discipline. Punishment should be given with a degree of consistency and stability, keeping in mind the long-term effect of it. A child should never be punished for something that they have not done. Role of peer group. Peer group are categorized by children who belong to approximately the same age group, gender and social status and who share common interest. The first peer interaction usually happen in school or in the neighborhood. They visit each other's house for play dates and they hang around together in school during free time. They usually play around adult supervision. When children are first introduced to each other, they may poke, hit, pull or kick each other out of security and much to explore as they are still forming their own views regarding the world. Parents and teachers should help them in making friends. Purpose of peer group: satisfies the need of belonging to a group. Second, peer are preferred to as compared to socializing with others. Third, they influence social, cognitive and psychological development. They also influence the development of moral and values. Interaction with peer provides instruction on acceptable behavior. So the 5 purposes of peer group are: satisfies the need of belonging to group. Peers are preferred as compared to socializing with others. They influence social, cognitive and psychological development. They also influence the development of moral and values. Interaction with peers provide interaction on acceptable behavior. Peers also provide validation to the child, encourage them to try new things, provide them with an opportunity for comparison, enable self-disclosure and help to develop identity. Children between 6 to 12 years old experience an increase in social interaction. They get attracted to peer groups to get the opportunity to find independence from family and enjoy the closeness and sharing of emotion. The peer group also provide an identity model to a child and also show acceptable way to express emotion and impulses. It is a way to in a way of practicing the skill which are necessary for adult life. Peer groups have positive and negative influences on children. The positive include the child getting and giving attention and acceptance, developing standard. They serve as guidelines, healthy competition, etc., which encourage the child to grow beautifully. However, some children are dominant and other are submissive. So negative influences such as teasing, physical aggression, and rejection also happen, which can cause a bad influence on them. The table below show how facing acceptance and rejection influences the child. Acceptance. Cooperative, positive interaction, capable of initiating interaction, adaptable of confronting, understand emotional expression. Rejecting, disruptive, aggressive, incapable of initiating interaction, social, unskilled, unable to interpret with other emotional states. Some children unknowingly bully the weaker kids. So, parents and teachers should meditate the social interaction within a peer group, whether the interaction is competitive or cooperative. It affects the child's behavior and adult leadership style may affect their socialism. Following are the threat of a child who bully: domination, impulsive and get angry with very easily, show little empathy, has a positive self concept, physically stronger, break rules, antisocial behavior. Following are the threat of a kid who gets bullied: physically weaker, shows fear of pain, poor physical consideration, shy, sensitive, and passive, anxious, insecure, unhappy, has a negative self concept. Adults should intervene so that the bullies do not reinforce harassment and teach the children getting bullied to change the negative concept and respond to threat in the non-reinforcing way. Role of school. What is the role of the school? School is the next home for children where they feel safe and comfortable. They spend a large portion of their day in school, and apart from academic, there are various skills that they learn in school which influence their overall personality. Apart from reading, writing, playing, etc., children learn lesson of compassion. Apart from reading, writing, playing, etc., children learn lesson of compassion, respect, empathy, and integrity. They learn to connect with other children and adults in a caring and empathic manner. They become problem solver and solution seeker. From the initial lesson of raising their hands to speak, waiting for their turn, keep their hands towards themselves to later debate on moral and social issue, a child is molded to have their own set of belief about the world and themselves. The extracurriculum activity like teaching younger children, participating in swimming competition or a chess tournament, doing community work help to develop a child's interest, build self-esteem, and shape of the course of their later academic and professional life. Various game activity and indoor picnic widen their knowledge and make them more active and experienced. They learn to live a life of mutual help and cooperation. In school, teachers create conditions for proper behavior and habit of children. In school, they make each child take complete responsibility of their action. In the school, student council are organized. themselves establish the rule of conduct and follow them. School gives the student practical experience of living in the society, which inculcate the spirit of cooperation in them. They learn to help those who are in trouble. The way teacher interact with the children and regulate the interaction between peer affect each child's development in important way. When teacher ignore children's emotional and social development, they can often lead to adult who are very academically gifted but who struggle in their daily life due to lack of self esteem or social skills. Developing good communication skill with family and society. Parents play an essential role in building a child's communication. Adults, parents, and teachers set a powerful example of good or poor communication. Communication skills are influenced by the example children see and hear. Parents and teachers who listen to the children with interest, attention, and patience set a good example of it. The greatest audience that children can have is an adult who is important to them and interested in them. Some suggestions for parents and teachers for improving communication skill with children are as follows. Avoid dead end question, that is, what did you learn to in school today? Did you have your lunch? Encourage talking, extend conversation, reflect feeling, listen patiently, share thought, listen to non-verbal messages, help in clarifying and relate experiences of your own.